All the other networks are visible here also. So which means our configurations are correct. At this point in time now, all these devices will be able to communicate to one another. Hello everyone. In this video today, we are going to discuss the routing protocol called EIGRP, which stands for Enhanced Interior Gateway Routing Protocol. It is a very common routing protocol nowadays, and it is ideal for larger networks because it can be scaled up to 255 hops. Just imagine having a large network that requires you having 255 routers. That's going to be a massive one. So, and this EIGRP, the one advantage of it is that it gives the administrators lesser stress in configuring their devices, unlike other protocols like RIP and the rest. So today we are focusing on EIGRP with the autonomous system number of 100. This number 100 we are using here, we will be using it in all the networks, which is very important when configuring EIGRP, because if the autonomous system number, which is sometimes referred to as AS number, is different between your networks, they will not be seeing each other as neighbors, so they will not be able to communicate. So any number you are using in your network, make sure it is the same in all of the sub networks, the LANs and the WANs. The number does not have to be 100. There is a wide gap. It can range from 1 to 65,535. It can be any number, but just make sure that you use the same number for any of your networks. Yeah, to save time now, I have already configured these 5 LANs you are seeing here. These local area networks, these different colors. It is a local area network. That one is already configured. And the 5 links you are seeing here, they are wide area networks, which I did not configure yet. I will want us to do it together for the benefit of those joining us newly to see how we do the configuration. And to those of you that are interested to see how I configured the LANs, I already explained it in one of the videos. I will add the link below so you can see how we did it step by step. It's not difficult. Now, our focus here and our first step is to configure the wide area networks, which are these red links. As you can see, this one is the link between router 1 and 2. And you can see another link here between router 2 and router 3. So on. So we need to configure them, these red links. To get that done, one important thing we need to know is to be sure which interface are we configuring on the particular router, because each router have so many interfaces. So if you configure the wrong interface, even if you enter the right details, your network will not communicate to one another because they will not see each other. In this router here, when configuring this link, our focus on this router here should be the serial 0/0. As you can see here, SE 0/0. That is what we need to configure here. And the IP address, according to our plans, will be 11.001, 11.0.0.1. And this other end of it here on this router, which is also serial 00 on this router, will be 11.0.0.2. And in this network we are using /24 for all of them. Both the class C and class B networks, we are using /24 for uniformity. Now let's come to this router here and configure the serial number 0/0. What we need to do, we come to the computer here. Any laptop you see linked with green cable, those are console cables. They are not part of the network. Instead, we use them to configure the routers. So if you want to configure this router here, now to configure this router here now, what we need to do, we click on it. You can see here we have serial 0/0, 0/1, 2, and 3. But remember, our focus on here should be on 0/0. We click on it. Then here you will see the space where we'll enter the IP address, which will be 11.0.0.1. Since we are using /24, our subnet max will be 255.2 255.255.0. Then we turn it on here. You see right now the link is red, here is red, but if you configure this end of it here, it will turn to green. Let's come to this router here also, router 2, and configure the serial 0/0. We click on it. It's here. Then this one will be 11.0.0.2. Remember the other one is 0.1, this one is 0.2. Then subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. We turn it on here now. Have you noticed that now the link has turned green, which means it is alive now? Then we do the same thing to the link between router 2 and router 3. When you come to router 3 here too, you see we have serial 0/0. Although sometimes it can be different, but just make sure you are configuring the right one. We click on it. We go to 0/0. Sorry, let me show you something. These links will be 12.001 and 12.002. So we come here, this one, let's make it our 12.001. 12.0.0.1. That is the IP. Subnet mask like we did before, /24. We turn it on. Now when we move to this router here now, you will realize now the link here is connected to this router through port serial 0/1, which is important for us to know because we already did the 0/0. Now you can see here is 0/1 and the other one will be 0/2. Now we click on the router, we come down to serial 0/1, we click on it. So that will be 12.0.0.2. Subnet mask /24. That is 255.255.255.0. We turn it on. Have you seen this link also has turned green? So I will do the same thing for this to save time, then we continue. Now that we have configured all the links and all of them are turned green now, our next step now should be to log into each router and advertise its routing table. To enable each router know which network is connected to which router for them to be able to send packets to that particular network. Right now, as it is, each router only knows about the networks that are directly connected to it and is not aware of any other one. For instance, our router 1 here only knows about this network here, which is 192.168.2.0 and this 11.000 network here. It only knows about those two and doesn't know anything about the rest. If you come to this router here also, let's say our router 3. Our router 3 only knows about this network here, 192.168.3.0 and the 12.000 network. And it doesn't know about any other one. But after our configuration, when we advertise their routing tables, it will know about any other one in the network. Let's come to the router 1 and run this command here. So IP route. You see, it only saw the 11.00 directly connected and 192.168.2, only two networks. And if you check our topology here, we have like 9 networks, but it only saw 2 right now because all other routers are not advertising their routing table. So to do that one in the first router here, we go to the terminal. We are already there now. Let's run the command. So IP route connected. Yeah, this will only show us the routes, the networks that are directly connected to the router. Then we enter the global configuration mode by typing config T. All right. Then we type router EIGRP. Sorry, let me use small letters. $100. Remember, the autonomous system number we are using here is 100. Enter. Then you type network space. Then this, anyone that appear here, we will type them one after the other. So the first one is 11.0.0.0, so 11.0.0.0 space. Then the wild mask. In our previous videos, I explained how to get the wild mask. If you can have a look at it. So since we are using /24, our wild mask should be 0.0.0.255. That is our wild mask. Click enter. Then we go to the second one. Then we go again network. You now go in for this one 192.168.2.0. Yes. The wild mask remains the same because we are using /24 in the entire network. Enter. Then we type no auto summary. Although if you are using newer routers, you don't need this command, but it's important just to type it, especially if you are doing an exam. It's important to get it there to be on the safer side. So that's it. We are done with this router. If you want, you can end it. Then write memory. This one will help you save your settings. We are done with this router now. So we move to router 2. If you know this router only shows us 2 links, this network here and this link. But when we come to router 2, will be a bit different because we have many networks connected to it. We have the 13 network, 12 network, 11, and this one 192.168.1. So we have 4 networks connected to this router. So if you run the show IP route command, we are expecting to see 4 networks if everything is correct. So we go to terminal. All right. You see now we have the 11 network here, the 12th one, 13, and the 192.168.1.0. These are the ones that are directly connected to router 2. Now let's enter the global configuration mode by typing config T, then router EIGRP 100, enter, network. Then these are the networks we need to enter. We start with this one 11.0.0.0. So 11.0.0.0 space wild mask. Remember we are using /24, so our wild mask will remain the same throughout 0.0.0.255. Enter. Good. Then type network again. Let's enter the second network 12.0.0.0. Then the wild mask. Enter. Network again. We go in for the third network, which is 13.0.0.0. Enter. Network again. Then we go in for the fourth network, which is 10. So 192.168.1.0, and then the wild mask 0.0.0.255. Enter. That's it. We have entered all the four networks. Then we end it. Let's save it. It's write memory. All right. That one also is done. Now let's come to our router 3 here. This one is only two networks that are connected to it. Terminal. Okay. Let's enable it. So IP route. Enter. You see we have two networks directly connected, which is the 12th network and 192.168.3.0. So config T. Oh, sorry, type in error. TONFIG space T. Then router EIGRP 100. Enter. Then network. We start with this one, the 12.001. While mask. Enter. Yeah. Then network 192.168.3.0, and then the wire mask 0.0.0.255. We enter it. Yeah, we are done. We have entered the two networks here. Then we type no auto summary. Enter. Let's end it and save it. Write memory. All right, that's good. We are done with router 3. Now let's move on to router 4, which have three networks connected to it, the 14 network, 13, and the 17 to 16.5.0. Let's run the command and see whether that is exactly what we will see. Yeah, you see these are the three networks. Always this here means that the network is directly connected to the router. So we have the 13 network, 14, and the 172. Let's enter the global configuration mode. Router EIGRP 100. Enter. Then network. We have 13.0.0.0 space 0.0.0.255, which is our wild mask. Enter. And then network. The next one is the 14 network. .0.0.0 space our wild mask 0.0.0.255. Enter. Network again. Let's come to the third one, The third one is 172.16.00. Let's go with that. 172.16.0.0. Our while mask. Enter. Then the final one, network, which is also 172.16.5.0. The while mask the same. Enter. Yeah, we are done. No auto summary. Sorry. Enter. End. And then let's save it. We are done with router 4, and we are now moving to our last router, which is router 5. That one have only 2 networks connected to it, which is the 14 network and this network here 172.16.0. Sorry, 0.16.6.0. Let's run our command to verify that our configuration is correct. So IP route. Okay, you see we have our 14 network and this 172 network. So like we did to the other ones, we type config T again. Router EIGRP 100. Enter. Network. We start with the top one here, 14.0.0.0. Followed by the while mask. Then enter. We then go to the second one, 172.16.0.0, and then followed by the while mask. We enter it. Then no auto summary. Yep. Let's end it and save it. Yeah, that is it. So we have now configured, we are now advertised the routing tables of all our networks. Now let's run the command show IP route on the first one and see whether it will show us these remaining networks. Remember when we did it at first, it only saw us this network here and on this only this one. But now if our configuration is correct, it will show us all the rest. You come here. We are in the terminal already. So let's run the command show IP route. Now have you seen now all the other networks are visible now? The ones with C are the ones that are directly connected to the router. As you can see, this 11.0.0.0. If you come here, that 11 is this link here. And if you check the other C, let's go down. You see it here, which is 192.168.2.0, which is this other network. You know, all this link and this network, they are all directly connected to this router. And all the others with D means that they are connected to they are connected but not directly to the router. Now let's go to another router again, anyone. Let's come to this one here and run the same command. Let's see whether we will see the remaining networks by running the command show IP route. Now you can see that all the other networks are visible here also. So which means our configurations are correct. At this point in time now, all these devices will be able to communicate to one another. For instance, let's come to this device down here. Now, let's go to the command prompt. Let me come to this device and run the ipconfig command to see. Okay, on this device here, you see the IP address is 192.168.2.3. This is the subnet mask and the default gateway. Let's try to use this device to ping this other computer in the other network here, which is 172.16.5.2. So ping 172.16.5.2. Let's see whether they will communicate. If they communicate, we get it right. Else we start again. Exactly. Congratulations. You see now, they are communicating. The other device here is reachable from here. We have sent 4 packets. We received 4, lost 0, which means 100% success. And we can use another device from this network here. Let's say this computer to ping this server from here. Okay. Command prompt. You see, these are the IP configuration of the computer we are using now. Let's try to ping 192.168.1.2. Let's see whether they will also communicate. Exactly, you see, they are reachable too. Although not all the 4 pass through, but it means these 3 shows that is reachable. Even if only 1 pass through, it means they are reachable. So, which means that our settings, our configurations, everything is correct. Our devices are communicating to one another, which is a good job. Please don't forget to like and comment and have a look at the other videos. We have some interesting ones there that can help. Thank you very much.